Hello and welcome to the Aftermath Shortcast. We are in another Dota match. Sadly, I was lagging a little bit while creation, so I am a little bit behind, but let's cut straight into the biscuit. Thing is, I cannot scroll back any longer, as you can see. So we are going into the ban, a big face with 2 in. So what we have on a match between Police Report Timbersaw versus Kaluaga Bahagia, KB versus PRT. Anyway, so we have on PRT bands Razor Legion Commander, and we have Pigs, Brewmaster and Suntower Warrunner, and we have the bands of Broodmother and Doom on KB and Sky Reformation Rubik on the Pig side. So let's see how this comes again. The pen phase is, for me at least, officially starting now. The match is already 2 minutes ahead. Well, let's see how it's going. Cool. Now what do we have? We're still waiting for the sub-ban. There's a Faceless Void ban and the Witch Doctor ban. Both Faceless Void has a very strong ultimate after he does nerfed as well. It's very strong still. And Witch Doctor as well has a very nice stun and a very good ultimate, which can be used in a lot of situations.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm sorry for that.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Now we're going to right to the next ban. Police Report Timbersaw is actually a little bit is going into the reserve time, and they already used a little bit of their reserve time to begin with. Now the Team Radiant, Kaluga Bargia, is still not in any reserve time whatsoever. So we have Police Report Timbersaw on the reserve time. 1 minute 25 left. Let's see what they ban next. So don't remember. There's the Death Prophet ban, so do remember, they do ban a lot of mid-heroes out, they do ban a lot of game-changing ultis out, and Kaluga Bargia, I hope I pronounced it correctly, KB is banning out the Ogre Magi. Now, what do they pick next? They have to start pick. Let's see how they go into the second pick phase, let's see what they pick off next. They do have 2 supports, 2 intelligence hero. They are kind of squishy so far, so we can pretty much rule out any more intelligence or squishy intelligence heroes out. There are some intelligence heroes like Viper, alright? Viper is not intelligence, but a very nice pickup, especially against Centaur Warrunner. If Centaur Warrunner happens to face a Viper on the solo lane, whenever it's off or safe, Centaur's Warrunner is going to lose that lane. Viper is so much stronger. Unless, of course, Centaur doesn't get his reflect damage, which would be a waste, really. And obviously against the Brewmaster, Viper is as well pretty damn good. Let's see how Police Report Timbersaw is. Oh yeah, there's the Crystal Maiden, that's the first support pick off. They are probably taking her because of the mana hungriness so far. Brewmaster is pretty mana hungry, and so is Centaur, but none of those heroes can't live without mana basically. So Crystal Maiden, solid support. However, I don't think that they should have picked her directly. At least not now. She is not in great danger of being banned. There's the Necrophone's pickup. Now we have another intelligence, not quite as squishy as the other twos, but probably their mid lane or off lane, or maybe even their core. The reason he's getting picked off, obviously his ultimate very strong, heart-stopping aura, absolutely disgusting in a team fight, especially against more tanky heroes such as Brew and Centaur. Now his ultimate is special because if you die because of that, you're gonna stay on the bank for a little while longer, and you can't buy back. Now that's a pretty strong pick. I still don't think that the Crystal Maiden was a good pick, but let's see how PRT is actually going against it now. PRT is now in reserve time again, 1 minute 20 left. And we have still no choice on the pick. They need another carry, obviously. They need another support and a core hero for the tri lane. Unless they don't go tri lane, then they need a forest and a core hero. And there is the core hero of a Juggernaut. I don't quite understand that pick, to be quite honest. The Juggernaut is pretty strong with his ward. He can push very well, and his ultimate rips through squishy heroes. And he has this built-in magic immunity. However, Wipeout goes through that, and as far as I remember, at least the Necrophone's stun, not the damage, the stun, goes through it as well. So we have that speaking against it.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, cool. Now we are in this last ban phase. One last ban for both teams. That's the first time that KB is actually entering the ban. And at the reserve time that they banned Twin Head Ring. Cool. Now we have the Dire. The Dire is actually And the last band as well, let's see how they react. They have a little while left before their reserve time of around about 1 minute starts. What do they expect most? What do they want to ban out most? What is their plan?
10 seconds
We'll see
remaining.
in a very short second. Now, let's say Juggernaut, really kind of strong, just not against Necrophus or Viper. And the Tidehunter has been banned, okay. Very strong ban, but maybe a little late. If they would have wanted Tidehunter, they would have taken it earlier. They take Timbersaw for offlane, alright. Apparently the Viper is going mid, or the Necrophus is going mid, and the rest is core. Now Timbersaw is pretty strong, so that's cool. He can survive a lot, he's a survival artist, his ultimate is fucking insane. And we have, obviously, the last pick for Please Report Timber. Timbersaw could have been a pick just to troll them. On the other side, Timbersaw is just a great pick in general, so we see how PRT is going to respond to that.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And here we have the last minute of reserve time for PRT. Let's see how they are going against it. I think that right now that KB has a stronger lineup because they have the stronger heroes. They are all in all a little squishy. Timbersaw is not very tanky early on. Necrophos is not very tanky early on. Viper is not very tanky early on. But however, three of those heroes get very tanky in middle of the game. While at least on starters, PRT is going to be more tanky. Now Juggernaut is not very tanky, and so is Crystal Maiden. But well, really, both of those heroes don't need to. And Klinks is the last pick for them now. What do they go with that? I don't quite understand.
Pick.
That Klinks pick, I really don't quite understand whether I want to lane that. But we'll see about that just in a minute, when the actual game starts. Alright. And obviously it lags now, like always pretty much in this moments before the game starts, it lags. So I don't really want to try to pronounce those names, so I'm just gonna stick with the heroes like last time. Crystal Maiden is the only not that hasn't picked yet, so pretty sure both of you guys already know who she's. Pretty sure those guys already know what Crystal Maiden's gonna take off. But maybe it's AFK, maybe it's on toilet or something. Maybe they're discussing how to lane this. And the game is off. We have everyone on their respective heroes, and we have everyone else on their respective heroes as well. Now the game's kicking off, and the Juggernaut is getting the smoke. And it seems as PRT is a sponsor team. I don't know what Sengoku actually is. Post game. Alright. That is the official post making this game official. 1 second. Alright. Maybe I can just skip ahead. Okay, it goes on. And GL HF is cool. Let's go for it. What is the game starting? How is it going? We'll figure out soon on the fields of Dota 2. Can Radiant or will Dire win? We'll see about that when the end side is pushed and not earlier. There is the Necrophos heading for the bot lane, and the Viper is going in the middle as expected. Rubik as well as Skyref Mage is heading for the bottom lane, and Timbersaw is taking the solo off lane. Now we have a Juggernaut running in front with the smoke, and everyone else is a little bit behind. Everyone is going bottom for it now, except for the Klings. The Klings is just staying in base for whatever reason. Centaur Warner as well as Crystal Maiden and Brewmaster are heading bottom lane. Brewmaster has a pretty nice set and a pretty cool cake. Alright, they are now officially smoked, so that begins. The Klings is still sitting in base, not really doing anything. Maybe he doesn't need to, maybe he doesn't want to, maybe he's just not gonna wait. And Rubik is trying to win this, and there's the counter prediction going off by Klings and Crystal Maiden. So Klings is an AFK, he's just waiting for someone, alright.
30 seconds, battle.
They are maybe running directly. Skyref Mage is going towards the right side, while Rubik is going toward the top spot. They might be right into that smoking in the beginning. Now they are officially seen. Crystal Maiden uses her slow on. Skyref Mage is getting slowed. There's a lot of damage coming off. Rubik can lift the Centaur Warrunner, not making him able to stun. Brewmaster is getting in range. Started with boots first, so it's probably faster than the Skyref Mage, even if it's very close. He is running into the tower, is he? Is he? Yes. There's a first blood kill, however, for the Panda, because even if you run into the tower, if someone with a crit right next to you is waiting for you, you can still die. Invisibility rune sitting around on bot lane. Top lane, the bounty rune has been picked up by Timbersaw. Klinks is blocking the top lane, so we have a Brewer mid, Klinks on top. And Tri lane, Juggernaut and Crystal Maiden. And center on bottom, it seems that the Juggernaut is going to be a little bit of a roaming character. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Because he has visibility, Viper against the Brewmaster mid is going to be fairly one-sided, but maybe there can be a gank. They are looking for one. They are looking for it. They can take the gank, but are they waiting for the push to happen, or are they waiting for the gank to happen? And maybe they are turning around. Doesn't really matter at that point. On top lane we have Klinks and Timbersaw, which is a pretty good matchup for Klinks. Timbersaw, when not taking passive first, which you can see he didn't, but he took a level 2. Has no armor whatsoever, so he's getting good hits. Crystal Maiden is taking out the ward. Not really a lot of offense against that. Rubik is meanwhile pulling the unstacked camp, and he's failing the double pull, and that's why he was gonna push on bot lane right now, just in the minutes. Juggernaut and Crystal Maiden still not getting any XP, sticking around in the middle of the forest. Center 01 on the other side being on bot lane, trying to grab XP, just being barely in range. There's the mid lane gang coming up. The Crystal Maiden is now preparing to move in. Slow on Viper with the brew. And the Juggernaut goes first. Juggernaut gets off his spin, and there's the slow of the Crystal Maiden. The slow of the Brewmaster, and Brewmaster takes the second kill, which makes him a 2-2-0. That is a fairly dangerous Brewmaster right here, with the first bot kill and the second kill in the game. Now, on the bot lane, however, you see that both Necrophos and Rubik are level 2, so Skywrath Mage, and Crystal Maiden and Juggernaut are still not. That means they continue to roam, they continue to be behind in experience, and they should probably get some, at least anytime soon. How the teams wants to proceed, that is something I don't quite know yet. Do you have the haste rune on bottom? Rubik is preparing, is just taking casually the Observer ward out. Haste rune still on bottom. They're probably taking the sentry out as well. Bot lane is getting pushed a little bit. Centaur can't really defend because he's very, very low. And it's just getting some experience in the forest. He's level 3. Skywrath Mage stands in a good position, can just gank and kill in the tower. The fucking Centaur Warrior is probably going to die. He's dropping very low, going into the forest, trying to juke off the damage, but it's not enough because the Rubik is coming as well. One more auto is finished off. No stun out. Rubik takes the kill. And now we are again on top lane, and we can see that the Klinks is just sitting here casually, not getting anything done. And he's taking the most farm in the game actually, and Timbersaw with 4 last hits is pretty behind at this point when it comes to farming. Juggernaut or Crystal Maiden are just sticking around the first tower and maybe preparing for something. Let's see what they can see. They can't be seen right there obviously, but let's see what they see. And we are going so far as to say that both Trilets are prepared at bottom to jump out in any moment if an opportunity arises. However, Skywrath Mage and Rubik smoked up and are now preparing for a gank on middle lane, and they are roaming for it. They are coming close, and the Brewmaster seems to not suspect a thing right now. The Rubik is coming in, the Skywrath Mage is coming in. If they get the silence out, he's dead. The Brewmaster engaged, but is now falling back just in the last seconds. Oh, that's the Rubik doing a little mistake, sending... Oh, that is bad. The Rubik just sent the Brewmaster back into his own team, which makes him able to finish off both the Viper and himself. Now, that is not very good. The Brewmaster now so ahead, killed 2 people out of a failed gank. On bot lane we see 3 men on the Necrophos, not able to kill a shit. And we just witnessed a little bit of a mistake by KB in the middle lane, putting PRT fairly much behind. Current goal, let's go to net worth. We'll see that Panda Brewmaster with 3,200 gold is far ahead above everyone else. After that, Killings with 2,000 gold. Then there comes Timbersaw, Necrophos, and Viper even about with 1,500 gold, and their support. So let's check back what we just saw here. So what we just saw here, the Crystal Maiden apparently has a disconnect. So what we just saw here was a pretty good leg. A pretty good gank on the middle lane. On the middle lane, we saw basically what we saw. What the Rubik was going in, and so was the Skywrath Mage. Rubik being top. He silenced the Brewmaster right here, and then the Brewmaster went like this. He ran up, and when he past the max range point, when they couldn't be catching him anymore, Rubik used the lift and sent him back right next to the Viper. Viper, already barely damaged, was just one hit away from death, and that one hit happened indeed when Brewmaster decided to crit. And here we go, Viper died. Now, Rubik was a little bit of a kill danger, because Rubik was basically both were divided. There's the line, you see the line. Rubik was on top of the line, Scarab Mage on bottom, and Brewmaster exactly on the line. So they were divided. And what you could see, what we was able to see, is the Brewmaster just went to the Rubik and smacked his face until he died. Because he could, because they were divided, because they couldn't run away both, and Rubik was a little out of position, leading to a 2-0 for Brewmaster, which was the one to get ganked in the first place. Making the game a 4-1, and basically Brewmaster took all the kills so far. Brewmaster apparently now a very happy panda against the level 4 Viper, very much in danger of getting tower dive right here. We'll see how that play and forces very soon once the pause ends. And I hope that's kind of soon. I really do. And fixing. Here we go, there's the next message. We'll see how it ends, we'll see how it goes and continues. I hope it doesn't continue for very much longer. There's the emote. So what we have on top lane, I'm just gonna take a build out of the game. So we see that the Timbersaw is obviously hopelessly getting out-farmed by the Klings. Klings having 21-7 and Timbersaw 9-1. That's normal. It's a melee with barely armor, as you can see he has a base armor of 1. Now he has 8 armor, but only because he has 4 stacks, so in case you didn't know, reactive armor, every time you get attacked you get a stack. More life regeneration and more armor with that stack. So you have that plus 8 armor, plus 7 armor on him. That makes him a little beefy. However, Klings has his passive, dealing up to 50 more, extra of 60 damage at highest level. Still hurts a lot, especially with his 50 base attack damage. Crystal Maiden now reconnected on bot lane. We see that Centaur Wall Runner still has gotten a little bit of experience, and both Crystal Maiden and Juggernaut are still level 1. So they need the experience as well, because even if they are behind, if you check the XP per minute, you see they are at 42, which is really bad, really bad. And actually, if you check the hero level, you see they are both level 1, now level 2, while the others are still also level 3, so they are fairly behind when it comes to level. So even if the team is ahead in gold, the team are also behind in money, in experience. And that is at least as same important, especially on the Juggernaut, who needs some experience to be somewhat effective. Now you see Juggernaut, Crystal Maiden roaming maybe to the middle. I'm not quite sure yet what they want to do. On top lane you see Scarab Mage going in position to gank the Klings. And here's the gank incoming, there's the silence coming off, the Klings is dropping very low, no TP's incoming, and he just really got out his skeleton walk just in time. Really, him not going to the right but to the left was a safe call, because otherwise he would have been died by the Timbersaw's chain. Now that didn't happen, did it? The silence was coming off perfectly, so they could have nearly got him. The Klings is now also sticking around near the shop, seeing there's a Scarab Mage next, and he can't really go where. He's trying, he's popping the pot, however. So by popping the pot, he has a fair amount of HP again. So maybe he's looking to take out the Scarab Mage. He obviously saw the Scarab Mage going in there, so that's a thing. And now he's obviously blocking. Maybe he is going for TP. On the middle as there's a tower dive with ulti popped from the Brewmaster, and there's the Juggernaut spin under TP coming in by Scarab Mage, but Crystal Maiden killed off the Viper before something happened. Scarab Mage dropped to middle HP. There was the tower dive, I'm sorry I didn't catch that. Middle lane obviously initiated by the Brewmaster with his ultimate Primal Split on cooldown now for over 100 seconds. However, he got also a double damage rune, so he's going to stay fairly dangerous in lane. Centaur Warrunner meanwhile reached level 5, and Necrophos is about to hit level 6, which could potentially kill the Centaur. However, he has boots of Tranquil Boots. So in other words, Tranquil Boots will heal him up if he doesn't take enough damage, and he is nearly halfway to full again. Alright. Scarab Mage now leeching experience. The Brewmaster has finished his dagger. He is nearly at full mana. He could probably kill the Scarab Mage, but he's not attempting to. He's going bottom lane. He could potentially witness a gank right here. He popped the double damage. Is he preparing for the gank on Necrophos? He is now coming in. There's the ulti off the Centaur Warrunner, the double damage, double crit, and kill with the double edge. Easy kill, easy kill. And on the other side, Timbersaw pwned the Crystal Maiden in the forest, outside the forest, on the lane, which I wasn't quite able to catch, to be quite honest. but that doesn't really matter too much. Timbersaw took off support, which was probably trying to farm her up with the Juggernaut, because the Juggernaut is a little bit behind in experience and gold, but now he can take that experience and gold from being a solo on bot lane. Now let's check the experiment. We see the level. The level. Oh, I didn't really catch that. Obviously the Viper was taken out again by the Brewmaster, but it's not over yet. There's the reinitiation by the Necrophos. Necrophos using his ulti, not quite killing him. Being at 200 life points are pretty low. He has a stick ready to his disposal though. 3 people in middle lane. And if you check the levels, what I just wanted to say, then we see that the Juggernaut is actually catching up. Now nearly level 5. About to overrun both supports of the enemy team, which is about time really. So the Brewmaster is still feeling fairly comfortable in his spot with about 36 last hits. He beat the Viper by over 20 of them, and he has the second fastest check in the game. He has 5 kills, he has the most experience. You can safely say this Brewmaster feels very comfortable in his role right now. On top lane you see the Juggernaut and the Mana MT Timbersaw. However, you also see a Rubik and the Scarif Mage incoming. So chances are there's going to be a gank. There's not going to be a gank anytime soon. They are running for the bounty rune. Klings is going to probably take it, and here we go. Klings took the bounty rune. There's the smoke coming off into silence, however, and Klings is now actually not in danger because the Scarif Mage is going back, which is, I would assume, is an acceptable thing to do. The Klings deals a lot of damage with over 100 of them. There's the ulti popped. The Brewmaster jumps on the Rubik. The Rubik tries to get him away. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna die. There's the unstoppable and another crit by the Brewmaster. Timbersaw on top is falling back. He has no mana left. Is there going to be a tower dive? Yes, he can. Can he still see it? I'm just gonna see. No, he's not seeing it, but he can also just run away with a Splink Dagger. It's not a problem because the tower doesn't fire any kind of cooldown. I think he was trying to get a kill, but I think that he knew that taking a second tower in consideration is a little bit too greedy. He has nearly full mana though. And he can pretty much gank the middle lane. Now, he can't see the Viper. He's maybe not aware of the Scarif Mage. I'm not sure if it can work. He's gonna just jump on nobody. He's gonna go back to his creeps and waste the silence. After the cooldown of his dagger ended, there is still going to be some cooldown on the silence, so he can maybe pop the prime and split combo if he wants to. There's now 3 people in mid lane. The Scarif Mage backing off. That could be a go call right there if he can at the right time. The Sentinel Warner is also prepared for a gank. And right now we can see that when you check Dire, they can see the Rubik as well as the Viper, so they know fully aware what is in the middle and what isn't. They may be prepared for it. The Centaur stands there. However, Rubik decides to do the smart thing and fall back a little bit, because he probably knew he was in some kind of vision range, because the enemy was playing a little bit more careful. If we go to the top lane, we'll see that Juggernaut is actually now level 6 and farmed up his face boots. And Timbersaw is as well as level 8, looking to take some money from the break that was offered by Klings leaving the lane. Now we have a double damage on Centaur Warrunner and a bounty rune for the Brewmaster. Bounty rune means money. Money is good. Generally speaking, money is very good. And then we have the Crystal Maid in the middle lane, taking some experience. The Centaur Warrunner farming bottom. There are 2 heroes. I don't think he knows that the Scarif Mage is there. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so this kill could be potentially dangerous for him, losing a lot of money. However, we see that the Scarif Mage is not moving into the gank. There is a Rubik coming as well. We knew how this worked out a little bit. There's not going to be a gank. They're just going to show themselves off and be a little bit of that. There's the Brewmaster, maybe finding the Viper in the forest. The Brewmaster officially found the Viper in the forest. There's the kick and the strike and the auto attacks and the slow, and it's probably going to be a dead Viper at this point. The ultimate of Centaur was popped to secure the kill. And here we go. Brewmaster took that kill. TP was cancelled. Bot tower is going to fall. However, since there's basically there's a TP coming onto the second tower, this TP is going to happen from Klings, and Timbersaw actually killed the Juggernaut. There's the Klings, and there's a Brewmaster coming in as well. There's ultimate wasted on Centaur. Centaur died. So we have the Klings killing the Brewmaster. We have the kick going on of the Rubik. Rubik nearly 2-shotted. Now the ultimate is popped, and now this looks like a turnaround. With Necrophos being stunned, Necrophos is going to die. And can we see? Yes, we can lift the Rubik. The Rubik is being lifted, and there's obviously going to happen a kill. 3 for 1 on the tower. Probably there is going to be a push right now on the bot lane as well. But everyone is there. That at least would be a choice. Viper tried to roam bottom. Is not barely level 7. Has nearly no items. Was not in time. Juggernaut was killed by Timbersaw. Officially is a little bit behind the level. Obviously, Timbersaw is level 9, he is level 7. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's level 7. He has barely face boots and only Rope of Magi, while the Centaur Warner has not much more, but if I think that's the Timbersaw just had a DC. Or he underestimated the damage of Double Edge, which would be weird with a first page game. Centaur Warner now obviously got a little bit of money off that and could possibly buy his Blink Dagger if he goes to the shop now. The Juggernaut is ported to middle lane. Middle lane, there's going to be gang. Lift from the Brewmaster on the Crystal Maiden, nothing else happens. Brewmaster is feeling so comfortable right now that he is actively looking to take out the Rubik, and Rubik was spotted by Klings. I see that there's nothing going to happen because they tried to take out the Viper. Viper on the secret shop. Can they see Viper? In the same moment, there's the pause. Timbersaw has been DC'd as expected. So, can they take off the Viper? Obviously, at this point, we see the Viper has been spotted. At least, I'm not actually not sure if that's just the edge or if they actually spotted her. But if they did, then she's going to die. Maybe. They must tower dive. Scarif Mage is still on top, but only level 5, not 6. The Centaur 1 has everything ready and has enough mana for both his, only his Hoof Stomp actually. The ultimate wouldn't work. But Hoof Stomp the Double Edge would perhaps kill the Skyrough Mage nearly instantly. That's a fact. We add up 200 damage and 400 damage, 600 damage. And a little bit of that is magical damage, so let's say 550 at an auto attack and the Scarif Mage should fall over. The Viper has 800 HP, Klings does 130 damage plus 60, and Brewmaster does 80 damage plus crit plus Stomp. Should kill the Viper fairly quickly. In middle lane we have the Juggernaut and the Crystal Maiden trying to push the towers. On bot lane we have a Necrophos farming. And let's see the other stats, right? We have the hero levels, which is fairly certain that Klings and Brewmaster is very much ahead. Next to that is the Timbersaw with level 9 and the Centaur with level 9. Then there's the Necrophos and the Viper with 8 and 7. Both supports of Dire are 7, and Skyrough Mage and Rubik are level 5. XP per minute, obvious. Dire Heroes much in the lead. In retrospective, at the moment Viper gets less experience than Juggernaut, which is a problem. Current gold is not very important, but net worth is. And we have 6,500 net worth on the Panda, 4,900, nearly 5,000 on the Klings, nearly 4,000 on the Necrophos, and nearly 4,000 on the Centaur, and then we have 3,300 on the Timbersaw, 2,800, and you can see the stats for yourself. But from that you can see that the Panda is nearly double the gold ahead, and that's a fairly huge number at that point. And if we check because they have assist, you can actually see that obviously Panda is very much in the lead with 803, and then the Klings with 201, and then the Timbersaw with 210, and then 221, and then 11, and you'd see that this game is at this point, for PRT at least, fairly one-sided. But how one-sided is this really? Well, how one-sided is it, I wonder? Well, I don't. I'm pretty sure that PRT is going to take this at least into a very favorable position if they start to push soon. Because when you check the map, you see that nothing of pushing has been done so far. There's been a single tower pushed on bot lane, on Dire side. And there are some picks coming off, so perhaps the Centaur Warner knows of the Skyrough Mage and they're currently planning how they do this, so there's a little bit of tactical value in the statement. As much tactical value as to be able to, you know, take it on. I wonder when the game is going to continue. Very reluctant. Very reluctant to just press. Oh, Timbersaw is reconnected. Perfect. It's starting now. So everyone seems to be alright with waiting. Go is called, and now we see the play happening on top lane. Now the Klings obviously hasn't spotted the Viper, but we also see that the Timbersaw went straight for the Skyrough Mage was silenced just so this Skyrough Mage could defend himself for the Centaur, maybe for a couple of seconds, but the Brewmaster took him off, is now godlike. Klinks went back somewhere else. Is getting engaged on by many. Has no ultimate up and he's going down. There's the Brewmaster taking quite a lot of damage. And Timbersaw got all of that precious money. That's going to help them a lot. Because when you see the gold change, you see that basically Timbersaw lost a lot. And that's gained a lot. Top lane is now as well pushed. So KB is staying in this game pretty damn good at that point. Mid lane gank on Rubik. Rubik got ulted from Juggernaut, died instantly. The Klinks damage is not even worth telling at this point anymore, just died instantly.
That means you can't hurt him right now.
And we are seeing the tower being pushed with the Juggernaut ward.
Middle tower has fallen.
So we have 2 towers away and 2 heroes away. That makes a lot of crazy bonkers in just a couple of seconds. Hui, alright. Klinks is eating in the enemy forest and takes the big camp so he can get some extra dosh off it. While Brewmaster is also farming bottom lane. I think he is going for the BKB. No, not the BKB, the Aghanim Scepter. Which would be very, very good, because the Aghanim Scepter on Brewmaster just basically does a lot of things. It's all great. And the middle tower is getting pushed and there seems to be no effort whatsoever defending it. No TPs coming up. Wave clear of Crystal Maiden not being enough really. There's a TP in middle coming from the Juggernaut, everyone is afraid, and there's the initiation with the ultimate and the Blink Dagger in from the center of Warner, doing a lot of damage with Spin and Stomp. However, the Timbersaw has it pretty good. There's second initiation from Brewmaster, got instantly silenced, leaves a lot of HP, and the silence runs out right now. Is he using ultimate? Not. Yes, he is. Basically, what you can see from that is that the Timbersaw ultimate has massive slow head, it's pretty good on control. Brewmaster is still chasing the enemy, maybe going for the Viper now. Viper's taken down. There's a 1-for-1 for now. Timbersaw is still fighting and is a little bit out of position, but it doesn't matter. Brewmaster comes back into the fight. He is jumping on the Skyraf Mage. He wants it and he gets it. The Skyraf Mage is down. From behind comes the Klinks, killed by Rubik and the Timbersaw. That was devastating, taking 4 for 1 and 1 being the initiation hero. A little bit of a weird initiation right there. It worked, but it wasn't at the same time, so that could have been a little bit different. Lucky for them, KB didn't have the damage needed to just instantly screw them over when Brewmaster wasn't there right at the start of the fight.
I feel sad for them.
However, that is not a big teamfight combination with much of Black Hole ultimates and much of AoE damage, but it's still enough to leave an impression on what they could do in the teamfight. Timbersaw's ultimate had a pretty good under control. However, after Klinks and Brewmaster joined the fight, it was pretty one-sided again, as you can see in the net worth tab. With with one hero reaching 8,000 and one over 7,000, you can realize that they are pretty strong and dangerous at that point. Especially Klinks. Especially Klinks with his Orchid is doing a ton of damage more. They took no retaliation towers, they just took 4 kills for 1. Klinks is looking for a pick-off in middle and he got smoked. Oh my god, how did they even see that? There was an Invis ward in the middle, or was there? Or was it just a random smoke? They couldn't do anything with it though. That was a weird random smoke, to be quite honest. A good one, but a weird one to begin with. Now sadly, they couldn't really do a lot with that, because there was no chase-up potential. All heroes are roaming top lane now, maybe they wanted to stop the push or something. There is no push, that's just important to know. The Brewmaster is a little bit out of position, but he knows that for himself. I think he's baiting because he knows that he has a Crystal Maiden near. And there is the Scarif Mage who instantly used the silence. The Crystal Maiden is initiating. There's the Juggernaut ultimate taking off the Scarif Mage. And the Juggernaut spin to do some more damage and get out of harm's way. Brewmaster is going back in again, using the Primal Split perfectly. There's a double stun by a Centaur Warrunner. Another stun on the Necrophos. Necrophos died. Viper very heavily slowed, probably going to die. Is dying too. Storm Spirits, the Storm Spirit of Panda is now taking some vision. Draining some of Timber's mana, now as well getting taken off with a nice Blink Dagger follow-up by Centaur Warrunner. Rubik is running, but he has already been spotted, and he stole the Primal Split. So that means that you can't really take him out in this moment. We might as well do some damage with it. However, as you can see, every Primal died except for the Earth Spirit, and the Earth Spirit is the one taking you alive. So maybe, but only maybe, he's going to survive. He's not going to Centaur Warrunner instantly blinking in with his stun. There was a nice silence, but not saving him ultimately. And a free top tower. Rubik bowed back, teleporting in right there. Could potentially, just potentially, lose and not alive, but there's also Viper. The team is now split. They are now 3, but are they going to follow up? No, they are not. They are not deciding to take this any longer. They have already lost a lot of heroes and they used the buyback. So what do we have in gold change? We see that that there was really not a lot of gold XP change in that whole fight. Wait a minute, that can't be the whole fight. It's just a part of the fight, right? Verdammt! I'm sorry, that was English verdammt. And here we go on the Viper again. Maybe Ross is regretting this because he's getting now followed up and chased by pretty much everyone. They're getting slowed. Juggernaut as well getting slowed really hardly. He could die potentially now, and there's the death with the Skite. 70 seconds down after 80 minutes. That's the power of Necrophos ultimate right there. And pretty much a reason why, yeah, you should be very aware of not getting that to your head. Because really that 30 seconds more respawn time, that hurts. That really hurts. He can now complain in TeamSpeak about how much it actually hurts. And we have another Centaur Warrunner on the bottom lane with the Brewmaster, with the Crystal Maiden and whoever Clanks being pretty much all in this perimeter of being bottom lane. The bounty runes are pretty important, taken off the Centaur again to get a little more money and experience. Cool. We now have tower evens. We have 2 towers down for both teams. Top lane tower isn't pushed yet. Off lane tower, I mean, it's only safe lane tower of Dire, but no off lane tower for Radiant. Both towers on bottom are pushed, both on middle are pushed. There's some blink in the middle, maybe they're looking for a chance to do something. There is the Brewmaster's Aghanim Scepter. Reduces the Primal Split cooldown not at all, but gives them a lot of new abilities and they are pretty dang strong. They saw the Klings with his Blink Dagger, but there's the Centaur going a little bit of ham. He is now lifted up, and there's the Brewmaster incoming as well. There's the initiation with the ultimate and the Drink Dagger. Rubik got annihilated. Scarfmage tries to get off, but is ultimately stunned by the Crystal Maiden and gets fucked as well. There is the Timbersaw trying to save her, but got silenced by the Klings, killing 3-4-0 in this pick-off situation. Now, PRT is so far ahead at that point. So what can we say about the game? Well, first of all, that Panda, Klings and Brewmaster are at least and at most 2 to 3 levels ahead of the enemy cores. The enemy Viper is so far behind that even the enemy supports out level her. The net worth says 10,000 gold on the Panda, 9,000 on the Klings, and 7,000 on the Centaur. That makes their core so much stronger and more efficient. Whenever they're going for a fight now, they shouldn't be afraid of anything anymore. At this point in time, they are so far ahead they could just take it high ground. But they're not going to. They're 4 men roaming into the direction of bottom and they are taking Roshan. And with Roshan, this game will go into most likely what I call his final stages. While it's perfectly possible that KB can recover from this, after this, PRT is properly trying to end the game completely. Now what is going to happen? Roshan is dying, obviously. Everyone is split on KB, not forming up to do something. And there's the smoke on the 5 people. What are they doing with it? They are going for middle, and they see and they lick blood. They see the Viper, they see the Necrophos. They are falling back. It doesn't matter. They taste the blood and they are going for it. Centaur Warrunner is still in hot pursuit. There's the ultimate popped off. The Viper is now taken off officially with the stun into the Brute Keg. There's no way of her surviving. Viper is being taken down. That makes it a 4v5 right now for the two fight engages, and the Timbersaw has been spotted. What will happen? The Timbersaw is trying to get off. The Rubik has been spotted. There's the slow, massive slow and stun on the Timbersaw. Timbersaw died, and there is the force staff into stun onto the Skywrath mage by the Centaur. There is the lift up, and it will happen. No, the Skywrath ulti doesn't actually hit the Necrophos ulti, not enough to take the Skywrath out. There's the Primal Split. Primal Split now in hot pursuit of the rest of the enemy team. Is 3 down for 0. The Skywrath is trying to get out. He's not going to be able to take out. Lift will take him up the air. Will kill him when he lands. It's now down 5-0. This is completely destroyed. What can they do now to recover back into this game? I don't know. I just don't know why PRT isn't really quite pushing at this point. But that was a great fight and a great engage. They got spotted, they got taken out, they died. Easy as that. And there was nothing they could have done. At this point, this game is absolutely dominated by a 61-10 Brewmaster and a 602 Klings. However, the Centaur Warrunner's initiations on the core targets, and by core targets I don't mean core heroes, but actual core targets, such as Skywrath Mage and Rubik, are pretty perfect. No space for Rubik to steal a disengage spell, such as the Centaur ulti or the Primal Split. Okay, they succeeded once, so let's be fair. The Pyromaster sitting on 5,000 gold could buy pretty much any item in this game right now, except for the really expensive 6k items. The Juggernaut is sitting on 2.5k gold, and Kling's nearly finished his... I pretty think it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere, but yeah, it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere. Nearly finished that as well. Only 2 items missing. At this point in time, as I said again and again, this game is going a little bit one-sided. The 5-4-0 just now didn't make it any easier. Now we do have the towers.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Brewmaster got silenced, got a little bit ham. Is taking a lot of damage. Half his HP pool is gone, but that doesn't really matter too much. They had still tried to look to take damage onto the tower. We have a little bit of damage going onto the tower as well. There is the Brewmaster officially going for an Invis rune outside the tower range, so perhaps they don't even know that he's still there. So what will they do? I don't know. Do they know he is here? Do they have any plan of that? They're clumping together. Brewmaster can't see them all. In the meantime, Necrophos died. I'm not even gonna point that out. I'm just thinking that this smoke and this invisibility runes on this part of the game could be much more intensive. Now they know the Brewmaster's there. Brewmaster and the Centaur is going in with ultimate. It's a stun to everything! Everything! And the AoE is killed everything, but actually the Skyroth ulti picked off the little bit of an Aegis on the Brewmaster. And with everything engaged, with Thunderclap engaged, with Thunderstomp engaged, with the Juggernaut ulti engaged, and with the Crystal Maiden Sphere engaged, everything died just in a minute. Because they got to eat quite a lot of damage in a very short time. Now they are probably looking to take high ground very soon. Maybe they are just now pushing as well. Timbersaw is still not ready. And here we go. Here see them pounding the first top lane high ground tower. Will they take it down? How much more damage will they get on it before they would start to back off? Every initiating hero is backing off a little bit, and they realize that they're probably not going to take high ground just now. Backing off a little bit, trying to take middle into the situation of being pushed onto their high grounds. And Klings is coming into invisibility. He's looking for another pick-off that would definitely grant him the chance to go just in, but that was already given by the Skyroth mage, who once out of position got stunned, and now everyone else is getting tower dived. Rubik being stunned really because he's that squishy. Klings taking off the Necrophos, but now in kill danger. Here's the second ulti, the actual ulti of Centaur Warrunner, getting him safe, killing everyone. It's 4-0 again. And the Timbersaw is desperately looking to get onto high ground. And it's 5-0. There's the first and maybe the second Rex. There's the GG coming out. The game is over. PTR won it. Quite significantly, actually. So just to say what happened in this last engage, Skyroth Mage went here, went out of position, got initiated on by the stun of Centaur Warrunner. Rubik got jumped instantly by Brewmaster with the use of Force Staff by Centaur Warrunner. Thunderclap into another stun when the Centaur Warrunner eventually followed up with his OT. Klings ripping apart the Timbersaw, and the Rubik got just eaten up by AoE damage. The Juggernaut ulti wasn't even in use. What does this matter? The effigy of Skyroth Mage now has officially been destroyed as well, so we have that. They are officially taking the bottom now. They already GG'd out, so I wonder where the why there's no cooldown coming. Oh yeah, because they removed that, I totally forgot. Oh, I'm sorry. I predicted the Lincoln Sphere, and here the Lincoln Sphere is as well on the Klings, just looking a little shiny because he activated it with no much reason. He's officially taking now both bottom barracks. There's another initiation by the Centaur Warrunner, and everything has been used again with a nice Shiva's ulti and the AoE of Crystal Maid's ultimate, and the Juggernaut ulti was just so much to take them down and vaporize them before they needed auto attacks. That is a 45-7, a decisive victory for PRT. Congratulations, I don't think this game is going to be any longer. I think the gene outpush is going to happen just now. I think that the creeps will actually just take everything by themselves if no heroes tries to push it, but they are staying mana. They don't try to dive too much. Well, Centaur certainly tried, or at least wanted to, but they are not doing that. They're just straight up taking Radiant. Radiant now dropping fairly fast. Well, you can see the clear lack of auto attack damage. And there's the initiation, the Primal Spit in the fountain, and there's a fountain dive. The Centaur will take the fountain. Now it's a Primal Spit tanking, with Juggernaut tanking. Everyone's taking around who's tanking the tower. The Primal Spit actually took it to an end. 2 died, and there's the Sentinel War runner jumping in again. Shortly before, oh, there's the death on the Panda, and we see the Radiant going down.
Deserved.
I just don't know what I said in the last 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Well, that was it for today, for the Today Dotascast. Let's try to contact them. Maybe they would like to give me feedback. Yeah, I should do that. So, thanks for watching and see you next time.